Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies.
Usually, when I come on here, I usually don't write stuff down, but I had to write some stuff down. Had to get some things off my chest. Now, this will be the only time I live. This won't be the only time, but I'll try to make this the only time I speak on this coaching situation with the Saints, because obviously they're going to bring Dennis Allen back. We kind of all know that already, but obviously I don't agree with it. A lot of fans don't agree with it, but hey, it is what it is. It's not our choice to make, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about the coaching around the NFL, the firings, the hirings, or whatnot, and we'll talk about the culture and what impact it has on the Saints in that whole situation. But let's get to these coaches first, man. And let's just start in the division. Falcons fired everyone. Gonna have a new coach, head coach next year. Arthur Smith, last thing as the Falcons coach was making Dennis Allen look like a bitch on the field. Let's just be honest. He punked him. Had Dennis Allen copping pleas in the interview after the game. Sad look. He checked you on the field. You did nothing about it. You had Rizzy, had your back. He shouldn't have. He should have just let you get berated out there like a little. Can't even say that. But yeah, that was his last, moment as a Falcons coach. Then you got the Panthers. Guess what? They fired their coach. They fired their GM. Two teams that didn't make the playoffs with the easiest schedules in the NFL. Guess what? They got rid of people. Then you got the Bucks, which is crazy because Todd Bowles is on his second year, won a division twice, and he's going to be on the hot seat if he loses first round. With Baker Mayfield at quarterback, with an aging roster, just kind of like the Saints. Yet, he makes the playoffs 2 times in a row, and he still may be on the hot seat. Then you got the Saints, who haven't touched the soul yet. And look, not just our division. I'll go through all the divisions in the NFL just to make it seem like we're not crazy. Just to let y'all know we're not crazy. Now, let's start off in the division. You got the Cardinals. This is the first year for everybody over there. Kyler Murray was hurt. They get a pass somewhat. You got the Rams. They got McVay. You got the Seahawks, they let go Pete Carroll. Super Bowl winning coach, been in the Super Bowl multiple times, great head coaching record, top 10 coach in the NFL. Guess what? Pete Carroll is no longer with the Seahawks because it's unacceptable to not make the playoffs for some franchises. Unacceptable. Then you have the 49ers. You got Shanahan, who's probably arguably a top 5 coach in the NFL. Oh, but we're not done. You got the Packers. Guess what? In the playoffs, knocked us out. Vikings, injuries, quarterback Jefferson been hurt all year. The Bears, guess what? Entire offensive staff got fired. Because you know what? You got Justin Fields. We traded for DJ Moore. It's unacceptable not to make the playoffs. You got the Lions. They're in the playoffs. Go to NFC East. You got the Eagles in the playoffs. You got the Cowboys in the playoffs. And that might be a surprise hot seat with McCarthy. If he loses this first round, I wouldn't be shocked if he's out there. You got the Giants. Guess what? Defensive changes. Fired to DC because they didn't make the playoffs. And guess what? That's unacceptable. The Commanders. Guess what? Ron Rivera didn't make the playoffs. He's fired. It's unacceptable. Unacceptable not to make the playoffs for certain teams, but for the Saints, it's like we don't want to get better. We'll stay average. We'll stay what we have. But that's not it. Let's go to the AFC. Bill Belichick, after 24 years with the Patriots, guess what? He's not there. You know why? Because 3 years, it was unacceptable. You're talking about a guy with, 6 Super Bowls? It's unacceptable to lose. Greatest NFL coach of all time. Don't have a job. You know why? Because it's unacceptable to lose. But yet, the Saints, they like losing. They just like losing. On top of that, you got the Bills. Same division. You got the Bills. Fired their OC. Named Joe Brady the OC. During the season, the Bills made the playoffs. See how simple it is. Miami, good coaching staff over there. Then you got the Jets. Injuries. Aaron Rodgers went down first seconds of the season. That's not anybody fall over there. And I think Salah's a good coach. A really good defensive coach. I may add. Let's go to FC South. You got the Texans. Rookie coach. Rookie quarterback. Guess what? Make the playoffs. That doesn't happen. We got a guy that's been in the league 5-6 years coaching, and you got a quarterback been in the league 10 years, can't make the playoffs, but guess what? We keep everything the same because that's just what we do. That's just what we do. You got Jacksonville. Guess what they did? Fired their defensive coordinator. Started 8-3. You got Doug Peterson, Super Bowl head winning coach up there. Guess what? Somebody got to get fired because losing is unacceptable. You got the Titans with Mike Vrabel. Pretty good coach. Pretty good track record. 54-45. Guess what happened? He got fired because losing is unacceptable. You can't miss the playoffs back-to-back seasons and be brought back. This is the NFL. This is a big boy business. But yet, the Saints, we don't do it. The coach, they were injured. Had a top 4 pick. Anthony Richardson played, about 6 games, if I remember correct? Unacceptable to lose. And last division of football, you got the Chiefs. They're good over there. They're sitting with Patty Mahomes. Denver on their first year with the head coach and Sean Payton. Started turning things. They benched Russell Wilson. Yeah, you could say it's a money thing. You could say it's a play thing. But things were happening over there. A new regime over there. You got the Chargers. They just hired a new OC this year, right? Offense wasn't working. They went out and get Kellen Moore. Guess what? That didn't work. Head coach got fired. You know why? Because losing is unacceptable to most teams in the NFL. The Raiders. They fired their GM mid-season, fired their head coach mid-season. Guess what? They turned it around. They started playing better. It's unacceptable, man. Unacceptable. Unacceptable to lose, but guess what? The Saints accepted it. Why? I couldn't tell you. Now, on to this culture thing. So there's been coming out that the Saints, want to make some culture moves this offseason, get the culture where it needs to be. And I agree with that. If the culture's bad, you need to get the culture in the right place. You got to have leaders on the team, but that starts from the top. Starts from the owner to the GM, to everybody in the front office, to the coaching staff, to the players, down to the managers, the equipment managers, the trainers, everyone. You have to have a good culture. Now, let's speak on the Saints culture. It was pretty bad, I think, maybe 10 years ago. Ever since that Junior Galette situation happened, the culture was bad then, and the Saints have been spending years and years and years to get the culture where it needs to be. And guess what? They had one of the best cultures in the NFL. Good locker room, good head coach, good front office, good player leadership, and all of a sudden, it's out the window. All of a sudden, the culture's bad. All of a sudden, things need to be changed. But what's the biggest change? Let's just look through it. I mean, you had MT, you got Elvin Kamara, you had Marshawn Lattimore, DeMario Davis, you had Ron Ramchick, Teron Armstead, and Drew Brees, who's no longer with the team, obviously. The culture was good. You had really, really good leaders in place. You had a really good thing going. You had Sean Payton as your head coach that everybody respected, sometimes feared, which is a good thing. And what changed all of a sudden? It's only one thing that really changed. Yeah, Drew Brees left, so that's going to hurt. That's your leader. That's your best player in franchise history. Him leading, the culture's going to shift a little bit. But the biggest thing that changed is Dennis Allen as your head coach. You hired him because you wanted to keep that culture the same. You wanted everyone to stay put and kind of keep this ship rolling how it was. But obviously the players don't respect him. It's evident. The players don't respect him. Maybe not as a coach. Maybe they respect him as a man, but not as a coach. They don't fear him. They don't respect him. You just can tell. Players are kind of doing what they want out there. It's evident by if Sean Payton tells Jameis Winston to take a knee, I can put my life on the line that Jameis Winston takes that knee. I bet he does. But one thing about Sean Payton, he wouldn't have even told him to take the knee. He would have gave Jamal Williams that touchdown. Well, actually, if Sean Payton was the head coach, he wouldn't be in this position because Jamal Williams would probably have a fucking touchdown already. Let's just be honest on that front. But the biggest issue is Dennis Allen. That is the culture problem. Dennis Allen is the culture problem, and he's got to go. But I know he won't. So they're gonna try to blame players this offseason. I see the Marshawn Lattimore. It's kind of written on the wall. They're not gonna probably bring MT back. It's just ugly out here. And if anybody can find me clips of Dennis Allen criticizing anyone on the team, as much as he criticized Derek Carr, I guess the lack thereof criticism of Derek Carr. Show me how he criticized Chris Olave. Show me the clip where he criticized Derek Carr like that. I bet you can't find it. I bet it's nowhere on this earth. He's acting like Derek Carr's son right now. He doesn't want to criticize him. He's babying him. The dude's not Tom Brady. The dude's not Drew Brees. He's not Peyton Manning. Why are we treating him with kid gloves? If he sucks, say he sucks. If he plays well, say he. What coach acts in the press conference? Oh, I bet you don't have anything to say about the quarterback this week. Like, are you serious? He's the reason the culture's bad. He's the reason the team's bad. He's the reason the coaching staff is bad. It's all on him. We gave him a full offseason to do what he wanted. He hired who he wanted. He got the players he wanted. He got the quarterback he wanted. He got the offensive line he wanted. He got the defensive line he wanted. He got the secondary he wanted. Draft picks he wanted. Everything he got. Everything he wanted, he got. And guess what we got? Nothing in return. You got 9-8 with the easiest schedule in the NFL. 9-8 with the easiest schedule in the NFL. That's just not a myth. The only team that had the easier schedule was the Falcons. And you know why? They played us twice. They couldn't play themselves. That's the only reason why their schedule was easier than ours, is because they had to play us and we had to play them. That was the only difference in the win percentage schedules. That was it. You take those games out, we have the easiest schedule in the NFL. By far. Take that how you want. We stink, and the Salad's going to be back. Nothing we can do about it. But hey, we'll see. I won't speak on it no more. Hopefully changes are made, but I doubt it.